this fear of doing it wrong is a result of late stage capitalism and a competition culture and perfectionism that makes us all real scared of being dragged, of being called out. And my approach is gentle. It's just like, come on in, and let's try to do this from a place of reverence. And if there is a way in which we mess up, let's be willing to look at it and move forward in reverence. Like, I spend a lot of time in the lineage chapter. That's all of us. We learn from each other. And if you don't credit the lineage, you are colonizing. You are claiming others' labor as your own.
Sun is coming up, are you ready to go? We can take a ride, we can take it slow. Yeah.
Welcome to the show, Becca Piastrelli. She is here. I am queer, and it is a party. Oh my goodness. Okay, so first of all, Becca, I am just so honored to be connecting with you in this way to share your message. For me, before I let you introduce yourself, I just want to share who I see you as and what what I love about you. First of all, Becca, I feel you as you are the mother archetype in full form. For me, the way you've held me and you've allowed me to just embody my truth and acceptance. I see you as this person who's full of 100% acceptance for all humans. And just really open to be there and hold whatever needs to be held. And of course, you taught me all about belonging, which is something that I've really leaned into. So, Becca, welcome to the show, Z.
Oh my gosh. I feel like this is the moment. I'm finally get on the road to self-love with the most amazing Paul Fishman. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for your really sweet words.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Take them in because they're truth. So on the road, we believe, or at least I believe, that self-love is the devotion to your individuality. What makes you you. So I'd love to know, who is Becca Piastrelli as an individual? What makes you you? And, what are you excited about right now?
Well, since we are also friends, I think let me just be super real and say I'm figuring out who I am right now, because I am still in the liminal space of transformation that was really kicked off by pregnancy and birth of my child Atlas. So I am in the motherhood identity crisis, full on. And it's very relieving to say that. I don't know, for folks who are wanting to be on the other side, what if we just claimed I'm in the mushy, gooey part of the chrysalis, the caterpillar becoming the butterfly. I'm very much discovering who I am as a mother. And what else am I besides a mother? Because motherhood is very all consuming for me. So there are universal truths. And so you're a stop on my virtual book tour. I have a book out called Root and Ritual, which I wrote at the same time as being pregnant with my child. So the book is a culmination of my life and identity and my path leading up to this moment. And the book is a nice reminder of the through lines, the universal truths of me as someone who is constantly in study with belonging, because my life story has been a feeling of just unbelonging, a feeling of not fitting in, not feeling right, rejection. There's just so many words you can bring around that. And I'm happy to dive deep on any of that with you, because I know you have your own story of belonging with the various identities you hold. And so many of us do. So that's the onion that I am peeling for the rest of my life. This lifetime is a search and a journey with belonging.
And also even to the point where, when you share, you reshare a post on social media that someone shared, trying to find the original space it came from and share that instead of the share of the share of the share of the share of the share, like, or crediting, or at least crediting the person who shared it, taking
Yeah.
an extra step. And it's also like, I know it feels like intense labor sometimes. It feels like really laborious to like have
Yeah.
to credit these people, or like when people say image from Pinterest. Okay, well, Pinterest is like a search
Image
engine.
unknown.
Unknown.
Or you know what drives me nuts? Will someone let me know who did this? Because I don't know. Tag the person. It's like,
And if you want me to take it down, let me know. That person.
oh, right. And like, think about that. Like, really think about that. Are we really in that big of a rush? You know, are we in that big of a rush to not take the time to find this out? Listen, I shared something yesterday and I just realized I did not credit the person I saw it from. I was moving fast. So here we are in motion of just like, how can we do it differently and model it for each other differently to remind, oh, you're right. Wow. I do want to find that artist. I do want to find the original poster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think there's a piece of it that is birthed from scarcity mindset, because even when there's a credit, it's at the very end of the post at the very bottom. It's like, what would happen if the first part of the caption was where you found it, image, right? You know, like what would happen? But
Yeah.
it's like, oh no, if I do that, then people aren't going to take me serious. They're not gonna think that I have anything to offer because I'm just copying something. Like, I've gone through this exact feeling
Yes.
when I
Yes.
share a quote that I'm just like, oh, this is so resonant, and just want to screenshot it and put it on, and I put the image via at the very bottom. And when people share that to their stories, they're just sharing at Paul Fishman. They're not sharing like, oh, Paul found this from this person, or thank you so much. Like, so people who don't even read comments think that these are words that I've crafted.
Yeah.
And even if I were to put the first thing, it's just like, I want it to be very specific and very, very clear. And that's why I do my best to, when I share things or say things, I give credit when credit is due.
Mm.
And I'm on that same journey with you. And I think that has to do a lot with like who we are, and like, if we're dipping our toes into human design as like both manifesting generators,
We move
we
fast.
move fast, and it's very easy for us to receive information and then share it.
Yes.
Okay, so it's time for our road trip game. Okay.
Okay.
So we love to play We're Not Really Strangers on the Road, which is just a card game that has a bunch of questions. And I have a self-love pack, and I pulled a random question. I haven't read it. I normally like to pre-read them because I like to prepare a little bit, but I didn't even pre-read one. So no, wait, we can't do this one. It was like, write 3 things down. No. Okay. Ooh, this is beautiful. And we're both going to answer. When was the last time I earned my own trust? How did I earn it?
Well, there was a 2-month period where my child did not sleep at the night. It was really, really hard.
Mhm.
And I was broaching psychosis, leaving myself. Like, really, it was like a mental health crisis for me. That's when I was like, I left as much of the world as I could and went into like a space. I called my mom a sabbatical, where I was just like,
Mhm.
I need to go in the cocoon.
Mhm.
And in the sleep journey, which every parent is on their own journey, I will say I was being told to just like let her be in her suffering and her discomfort. And my whole body was like, no. And I just knew. And I knew, but it was really hard to trust it. So this is right when I earned my trust. I just felt like, am I crazy? This is a horrible choice, but I just said, I'm going to pull away from everything in my life that is not necessary to just be with my baby in this moment. And it was a 2-month moment where I just did as little as possible and just like held space for her to move through a pretty big developmental moment. And then she started sleeping 12 hours a night. And I just felt like, yes, like, oh, I freaking moved through that. And it felt so good. And it's made all the decisions, the mothering decisions are sort of built on that step, right? That foundation of like, I made that choice and it felt, and I'm glad I did. So I can make the next choice.
Yeah, I love that. And it also like brings up this thing that I've been really moving through and like having a really hard time with, that the society that we live in doesn't create space for everyone to be able to do that. There's no room for,
Yes.
you know, mothers to take mother sabbatical. There's no room for grief in this
Yeah.
society. Like there's no, like the waves of grief. Oh, you get to take 3 days off of work, you know, bereavement, parent dies, that's it, you know. And it's just like
Yeah.
there, and I don't know what to do about it. I'm just continuously noticing that like it's it's so beautiful that you have that opportunity. And
Oh my
and
God, the privilege I
mhm,
have. And I felt really, really guilty.
mm,
And I just had enough mamas say to me, like, if like what is done for one is done for all of us. Like, no, you can't save the single mothers who are drowning right now, but like by you doing this, it's one less mother suffering. And
mm,
and a lot of mamas being like, I actually could have, but I didn't.
mhm.
um yeah, paid leave is a whole other thing we can talk. Ugh.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we need space. We need space
Yes.
for, yeah.
And the reality is that if we were given that space, when we come back, we're even better, healthier.
Yeah.
So yeah, there it is again. Yeah. Oh,
Oh.
it feels so good.
How many
So
books have just been sitting there? I know.
yeah. Oh, Becca, this has been so wonderful. Thank you for being here.
Mhm.
And please, please go buy the book, support this amazing woman, and remember, you are worth it. You deserve it. And you are not alone. Michael Jackson. You know, I'm sharing where it came from, okay?
I know. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.